So let me ask you some questions first. What is your favorite element in the game? And what element do you think is the strongest? And what element is the weakest in the game? So many questions, right? Well, I think you guys know that Genshin Impact has total 7 elements: the Pyro, Dendro, Hydro, Cryo, Anemo, Geo, and Electro. And it's all basic. I think all of you know that when these elements come to contact, they create elemental reactions and deal damage and all this stuff like that. Yeah, if you are playing Genshin Impact for a long time, you must know these things. These are pretty basic, you know. So yeah, let me get straight to the point. In this video, I will rank each element from weakest to strongest. And remember, I'm not counting down the elemental reactions. We will only look at how strong the element is if we use it alone. So yeah, this video is going to be very interesting. And before starting off this video, I must tell you that we will not rank the Dendro element because it's not playable yet and we don't have much information about that element, you know. Well, let's begin. So at number 6 we have the Anemo element. So I would not say that Anemo is a strength element or a combat element. I would say it's a more of a utility element because the only elemental reaction with Anemo is Thrill, which in my opinion scales poorly. Don't mind me because I'm just a stupid guy. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section. And yeah, if we talk about the Anemo resonance, so it increases your movement speed and decreases stamina consumption, which is great for climbing and sprinting in this world. And yeah, using Anemo resonance is pretty fun too. And Anemo ability can also create wind current. That is pretty much helpful, you know, when you are traveling in Tevat and exploring. So it's pretty much fun, you know, especially when you have Kazuha or Venti by your side. So yeah, I must say that Anemo is a utility element than a battle or combat element. If we are talking about the strength of this element alone, it's pretty much useful with other elements, but alone it's just like a utility element for me, you know. Okay, at number 5 we have Electro. So Electro is also an element that is on a weaker side in Genshin Impact, even though Electro can help create overload reaction, which is the strongest transformative reaction if I'm not wrong. But the problem with this reaction is that it does not scale or quit, you know. And we should also consider that while overload deals a good amount of damage, it knocks back almost everything, making it a little, you know, sort of inconvenient for you to follow up the combo. And if we talk about the other reactions like the Electro Charge or the Superconduct, then both have poor damage if you ask me. People mostly use Superconduct only for the physical resistance reduction effect. And one more critical thing that makes Electro a weak element is actually its elemental reaction deal no damage against Pyro, Cryo or Hydro and even Electro enemies. So yeah, we can say that Electro is also a not good if we talk about a standalone reaction. It can't do much, you know. At number 4 we have Hydro. So while Hydro applies to a Pyro enemy, it will create a Vaporize reaction, which is in my opinion one of the most highest dealing elemental reaction in Genshin Impact along with Melt. Even against non-Pyro enemies, you can set up the reaction easily with other Pyro character. And when you use a Hydro attack, it applies wet status to the enemies and the wet effect itself doesn't really do a thing if you ask me. But yeah, it can set up for a reverse Vaporize reaction, which is really strong. And however, there aren't any really many Hydro characters who is suitable for the main DPS role except Child with an E. They are mostly used to deal damage with Pyro enemies or as a supporting character. But Ayato is getting released and I think he is going to be a great character. But sadly, Hydro Resonance is practically useless and it also does not have a phenomenal set like the Crimson Witch to elevate it higher. But yeah, it is not all bad though. Hydro has access to both Vaporize and Freeze on the top of being a major player in Electro Charge and Overwave reactions. So yeah, it can be a versatile and highly useful element in a combat, but on the standalone purpose, it is not very strong. And guys, don't get me wrong, it is only my opinion. You can comment down below and tell me if I'm wrong. So yeah, let's get back to the video. At number 3 we have Geo. So Geo is typically not a damaging kind of element since Geo damage is neutral to most of the other elements in the game. If we talk about the reactions, it creates Crystallize reaction when combined with Electro, Pyro, Hydro and Cryo. I would say Crystallize is a defensive reaction that gives you a shield that blocks all damage. Well, most of the Geo characters lean toward the defensive side, excluding Arataki Ito, the Sigma Oni. So yeah, other than him, almost all the Geo characters are defensive. Since Geo characters cannot create powerful elemental reactions, they are often used as a support character rather than a sub DPS DPS or a DPS character, but yeah, I love Geo. And the fact that Geo characters has the best dialogue, like Osmanthus Vine of my favorite Zhongli. At number 2 we have Cryo. So Cryo can create an elemental reaction with almost all the other elements in the game, but the ones that makes it valuable is set up for a melt reaction, cause Cryo does a lot of things. Like it has the ability to freeze enemies, and while it doesn't deal any damage on its own, it allows you to perform a combo easily. And there are Cryo characters in Genshin Impact for both DPS and support roles, and they are all wonderful choices. And yeah, out of all the other elements, Cryo has the strongest crowd control in the form that is further boosted by the Blizzard's Trio set. And if we talk about the Cryo Resonance, so it provides some rare but additional critical hit rate. But wait, Cryo is not the best element in Genshin Impact yet. At number 1 we have Pyro. So Pyro is no doubt the strongest element in Genshin Impact. Also, any Pyro character in Genshin Impact can be your DPS thanks to their great stat, except for Amber. No one is counting Amber, alright, but we can count the Baron Bunny. Okay, so Pyro Resonance increases the damage of all your characters by 25%, and when you have 2 Pyro characters in your party, then it will be a huge amount of damage. And if I'm not wrong, it is the most offensive resonance in Genshin Impact. As for the elemental reaction, Pyro can create Melt, the highest damage elemental reaction in Genshin Impact, and yeah, it can deal even more damage if your character has some elemental mastery. And the fact that all the elemental reactions involve Pyro element makes it the best element in Genshin Impact. But yeah, it is all my summary. But what do you guys think? What is the best element in Genshin Impact so far? You can comment down below. And yeah, subscribe Emergency Food for more Genshin content. And I'll see you all in the next video.